And we're live. So
All
I
right.
just I joined just as we went live.
What coincidence?
Cortana joined us. Um, I was just wondering. I'm gonna ask each and every one of you. Is there anything I've asked Dustin this, but he's probably gonna have the same answer. Someone, is there anything you're gaming or watching on TV or any movies you watched lately? That's interesting.
Me?
No, Simon.
Oh,
Um, being a poor man, I pretty much just watch and play what everyone else is. I don't think I got anything interesting as such. Usually I just oh watch TV from Denmark, which are boring as hell, and play either Skyrim or Civilization, and sometimes Hearthstone. So, real boring.
Okay. And how about you, Dustin? Anything on TV you're watching in particular, or movies you watched?
I did get an HD copy of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Nice.
I was definitely splurging on that. I finished watching Ippo, which is not really television, I guess. It's anime, but if you haven't seen it, watch it. It'll give you DBZ feels. But a game I've been playing, it's still in beta though. It's called Dirty Bomb, and it's interesting. I haven't really dived too well into it, but it feels kind of like Team Fortress 2 from what I've played, and it feels kind of like a copy of it, but I pretty much got beta access for it, I think, last night, and I was just like, might as well try it.
All right. Cortana, how about you?
I mean, let's see. I watched Walking Dead, even though it hasn't really been good. This season's actually pretty good compared to the last few. Games-wise, yeah, I'm still just playing the campaigns for Master Chief Collection, just for shits. And then any interesting games. I tried Warframe, which was pretty bleh. It's one of those free-to-play games, if you guys haven't seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't really do anything for me. And then, let's see, is there anything else interesting that I've played? I mean,
or it's seen on TV for that matter, or a movie. It's not limited to just games.
I saw Fury. Fury was ridiculous, in the kind of corny sense. And then I'll probably see Interstellar in the next couple of days. But yeah, movies have been pretty much a desert wasteland lately.
Are you thinking about going to see Birdman?
Oh, yeah, I saw, that just kind of creeped up on me. I saw something for that the other night, and I don't even know what that's about.
It's essentially the alter ego, and then it's kind of a fantasy from my understanding. I'm not probably going to see it in theater. I might. It depends if my friends want to go to it. But I'm surprised you said Fury was corny. You didn't think that was intense? Like, by the end of that, man.
Oh, it was, but I don't know. I'm watching it, and I'm like, why don't the Germans just go around the tank? So I don't know. It was one of those things where it was definitely intense, but I'm just sitting there and I'm watching this, and I'm like, boy, this is a really, really long. I don't know, the last action scene. I mean, it was cool. Don't get me wrong, but it was just, I don't know. It went on too long, I think.
Okay. Angel, how about you?
Well, as far as television, right now I'm watching The Legend of Korra. I'm sure some of you may have heard of that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite literally the best show that Nickelodeon has thrown away.
Huh.
Ouch. Did they finish the second season or the third season? I'm sorry.
What? Can you repeat that, please?
Is the third season done yet, or is it like kind of halfway there? I'm waiting for it because I like to watch it like after the season's done and then just.
Dude. The third season ended a couple of months ago, like 2 months ago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And the fourth season is halfway done, and it's right now it's coming online. So the only way you're gonna be watching Legend of Korra is online now.
Oh, that's
Nickelodeon
good.
really.
Well, that's all I do is watch stuff online, so that's good.
Nickelodeon really dropped the ball on this show. I gotta tell you. But
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
But on the other hand, I gotta say on the other hand, maybe having it online is a blessing because this is not a kid's show, okay? I have seen a woman suffocate to death on that show, and they show it to you. You actually see her suffocate to death. Dude.
Ouch. Okay, no more spoilers, asshole.
Sorry about that. I did not really spoil you anything, okay? But really, season 3. If you like season 2 of Korra, season 3 is gonna blow you away, and season 4 is gonna blow that out of the water.
See, you know, it was funny because everyone told me season 1 was great and season 2 sucked, but I thought the reverse. I thought season 2 was amazing. I love how they did the origin story.
Oh yeah, I agree with you on that one because there's a lot to love on season 2. Season 2 really expanded not just the mythology of Legend of Korra, but the mythology of the entire Avatar world. That two-parter, beginnings, that has to be the best two-parter in the entire series. Everything about it was perfect.
Yeah, the world building in that show was amazing, especially how short it was. I mean, like One Piece is probably the only other show that I think has like the best world building that I've ever like dealt with.
Yeah, man, I love shows like that.
But like Korra did it. I mean, not even Korra, but Avatar in general just like fucking compacted that shit. Like what One Piece took like 1,000 episodes to do, fucking Korra did like in 50.
Yeah, but really, you gotta check out season 3. Season 3, man.
Well, if season 4 is almost over, I'm just gonna wait until season 4 is done, and then I'm just gonna do both seasons.
Yeah, but you gotta be prepared, man, because season 3 starts great and it doesn't let up.
Okay, I'm definitely waiting for it because I was very impressed with season 2.
Yeah, man. A movie I watched yesterday, and I have to recommend it to you guys. This movie blew me away. You know what it's called? It's called Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh god, that movie! Oh, that thing was so grotesque. I can't watch movies like that, man. I get sick. It's just, I felt so bad for.
I saw that movie and I was like, no, wait, no, this is a movie. This is what I like to see.
I guess you like Saw.
Oh no, I never saw Saw.
It's so bad, it's gone back to good again.
What,
yeah,
Saw?
that's the kind of movie I enjoy.
Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, right.
Saw is just bad, plain stuff. Period.
Well, it's the same thing as what was The American or something. Where the guy's just like he's tired of everything wrong with America, and he starts killing everyone. I forgot what the movie was called.
Yeah, I think is it with George Clooney or something?
Yeah, no, not George Clooney. Someone else. It was like a B-rated movie.
Oh,
By the
yeah.
way, do you guys know what the worst-rated movie in the world is? Well, last I checked, which was like a year ago, but nonetheless, I don't think anything's going to top this.
Trolls 2?
Huh?
Trolls 2?
The Oogie Loves?
No. Those two are like in the top 10, though, so you're going, it's actually Food Fight. I bet you haven't even heard of that.
Oh, man, I have heard of that. Heard of that.
Food Fight?
The Nostalgia Critic actually did a review of that film.
Yep, exactly. It has Hilary Duff and Charlie Sheen in it, and it's probably the reason why Charlie Sheen kind of went mad.
Oh, man. That movie...
Yeah.
How can something like that top The Room?
Dude, The Room at least has heart.
Yeah, dude, if you watch... Okay, listen, this is a movie that was using 3D graphics of like 2002, right? and it
Yeah.
got postponed until 2012, and then they released it. I mean, there's Cartoon Network cartoons with better animation than this $22 million movie. I was like, damn. Like, just go to YouTube and put Food Fight preview, and you'll exactly see like why it's so fucking bad. Like, it's just.
Or better yet, don't. Don't, ladies and gentlemen, don't do that. For your own sanity, please do not look up Food Fight.
Okay, look, I'm trying to cause multiple mental breakdowns, and you're kind of ruining my plan here.
Sorry about that.
Well,
Really,
speaking
a
of that,
game that I'd like to talk to you guys about, and I don't know if you guys are into freeware.
Freeware?
Freeware game.
You mean free to play?
Yeah, free to play, free to make.
We did talk a little bit about that yesterday, but what do you want to say about it?
Well, tomorrow there's gonna be a game that's gonna be released on Facebook. It's called Suikoden 2.5. It's a freeware game, a fan game of the Suikoden series, and I've been following its development for about a year now.
Mhm.
Now, the reason why it's important for us, the release is important is because there has not been a new Suikoden game since 2006, except for Suikoden Tierkreis for the Nintendo DS, but that one barely counts because it wasn't made by the same team.
I've never heard of Swiggling. What is that?
Well, you know Final Fantasy, the
Yeah.
Tales series, Dragon Quest. Well, Suikoden is an RPG series made by Konami, the same people that bring you Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
Okay, now in Suikoden you control one person who has to recruit 108 and 107 other people to join in an army to defeat an evil empire. And
Okay.
and you get a party of 6 people. You know how in Final Fantasy you get 3 or 4 people?
Yeah.
Suikoden gives you 6.
So everyone's excited for the. Okay, I got you. See, I'm not a Final Fantasy player. I never have been. It's just not my type of game.
It's not for everyone.
No, I mean,
also
I
depends,
won't lie. I mean, it's obvious. Final Fantasy is one of the grandfathers of video games in general. Like, it's by no means bad, but it's just the turn. Like, I'll play Pokemon, no problem, but it's just
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. I just couldn't. I missed it. I missed the train on it. And I did try. I did try Final Fantasy 13, and a lot of people said that was a mistake.
I gotta be honest. As much as I loved Final Fantasy 13, I gotta say I know where people are coming from. Final Fantasy 13, you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the same with the Dragon Age 2, really. I mean, I like both of them. It's not like they're the best ever, but they're not bad either. I don't know if anyone else has any opinion of those two games, but I felt they were good games. I don't know why everyone's whining so much about them.
A lot of people whine about what they don't like. That's why they exaggerate.
Mm.
Yeah. I was just gonna go back to what I've been watching and stuff. We kind of segued into something. I've been watching a lot of the DC stuff on TV, like Arrow and Gotham and Flash. I'm waiting for Constantine to come get a few episodes out as well, and I'm playing the Devil May Cry on my PS3 and. Playing Walking Dead on my PS4. So that's what I'm doing.
Do you watch Teen Titans Go?
No, I haven't watched that one.
You can skip that one.
Okay.
You can skip that one. That was kind of depressing, though. Teen Titans was a great show. I grew up on that show. And then they came out with that monster. But,
Yeah, I was gonna, with the notes I have here, we're probably gonna go beyond those, but at least something we can follow. Has anyone here seen the new Tales of Borderlands trailer?
I was trying to watch it earlier.
Okay.
Why is it the next one they're coming out with?
It's a Telltale one, just a story kind of game. It seems like they've nailed the humor of Borderlands.
Huh.
It's like two people who are working in a company who get the worst stuff in a company, and they decide to go to Pandora and become vault hunters.
Oh.
So it seems to be after Borderlands 2, but I don't know. Do you have any input? Cortana, you have been very quiet.
Yeah, you don't want to know it. This is an international crowd, so this probably won't hit you guys as much. But I just got a message from my buddy about the ISIS stuff right now. It's never mind. Don't worry about me.
No, don't worry. We've been keeping up on that. What happened?
They just again they. I don't like talking about this because I'm sort of involved. Anyhow, they another beheading video and just the production stuff they add to it and just their I don't know. I don't really want to get into it. I can't.
It's okay. It's okay. We understand because this is a very hot button issue right now.
Yeah, so I'm sorry if I went quiet there. I just was kind of digging.
Don't worry. We understand completely.
How about you, Simon? Have you seen the trailer?
Nope. And I must say, Borderlands 2 pretty much ruined it.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone here liked Borderlands, but I didn't quite like it. I don't know what it is, but the series just doesn't jive with me.
I've never played it. It's kind of like what? It's like a first-person. It's kind of like Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Not exactly. It's more a gun and run loot system, first-person shooter thingy.
Well,
Okay.
I wouldn't say that. Like, I was a big fan of Borderlands 2. I loved Borderlands 2. I never played Borderlands 1, and Borderlands prequel I didn't bother buying because it just seemed like
Cash in.
yeah, it felt like a niche game. You know, it wasn't like a fully developed game. I feel like it could have been DLC in that regard, but the thing about Borderlands is the reason I liked it was the humor was hilarious to me. Like a lot of my friends tell me I'm like Jack in regards to like when he starts out when he's an arrogant asshole to everyone. He's like, I got a pony made out of diamonds and I named him Butt Dick because I hate you or some shit like that. But that's what I loved about it. But I played like religiously with like two of my best friends with it, so that's probably why it was a lot more to me. But I just watched the preview on this, and it actually looks pretty good. I mean, there's a different spin-off on it, but considering what Anthony Birch has said recently, a lot of even my friends are kind of iffy about whether they should get the game or not.
Why? What has he said?
Anthony Birch, he's essentially just said Gamergaters are hypocrites because they didn't attack him because his friend reviewed his game. And, the big thing about that is
he's a douchebag.
Yeah, I mean, he blamed Gamergate. I'm not sure if this is even true, though, but I saw a tweet, and he essentially blamed Gamergate for his wife leaving him.
Okay.
Wow.
What happened was his relationship with her was awkward to begin with because he kind of discovered he was bisexual, so he wanted to see other people, and he let his wife do the same thing, but his wife was actually getting action, and he couldn't get any, so that was kind of Now, again, I'm just reading about this, like, from, like, what people have said on forums and shit. I saw, like, pictures of the tweet, but I can't find the tweet again, so I'm assuming he deleted it, but it was something along the lines of, Gamergate, you're the reason my wife left me, you're fuck you, like, something along those lines.
Oh, man, what a beta.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, It sucks because I like the Borderlands franchise, but the guy's a total dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, go ahead.
You know,
no.
yeah, go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Angela, just go ahead.
Oh no, I don't really have anything to say about it.
Oh, okay.
I don't really
Well,
have anything to say.
I'll jump in then.
Okay.
I played Borderlands 1 and loved the shit out of that one. The thing that kind of ruined Borderlands 2 for me wasn't the story, because the story was excellent. Jack was a complete ass and was so well written. I love that guy. But it was too much of the same. There was not really anything new. And if you didn't have friends to play with, it was just horrendous.
So it became monotonous or repetition.
Too hard in some places, not hard enough in others, if you don't play with another character. So
Yeah.
it was built to be
You know, I actually, yeah, my friend Hannah had that problem. Like her internet sucks, so she can't really play with other people. And you know, I used to talk to Borderlands to her about Borderlands to her, and she pretty much got to the point where you got to kill the giant worm, and then she kind of just dropped it because I mean, there's just only so much you can do by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They didn't even bother trying to grind after level 30. Because, I mean, what was the point?
Well, the DLC kind of made the point, but if you weren't interested, there wasn't really much else to do. It's not like it's in an MMO or something.
Yeah, but I mean, there was just it was simply too hard in places in order to try to get anything going again when done with the main story. From my point, of course.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna transition to we kind of touched on this yesterday, but I wanna hear with a smaller group what you thought of the Unity issues, Assassin's Creed Unity.
I've actually managed to never play an Assassin's Creed. Oh, I take that back. A buddy of mine lent me the first one for a couple of days, and I barely got through any of it. I got to like where you go to the Crusader Fortress or something like that, and then I was just like, nah, doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, one did have some issues, though 2 was far vastly superior to Assassin's Creed 1, though. But we're coming back to the issue where it's no longer any way you should pre-order a game because you don't know if it works or not, or if it's broken.
Right.
The fact that they released it and then just kind of gave a list of issues and how to get around them, I mean, that to me is unacceptable. You're selling me a product. I can understand if there's like, you know, Skyrim related like glitches like that, you know, where mammoths are flying around. Those were funny. They didn't really impact anything. But I mean, when you have to have workarounds, even specifically to systems, that's just telling me that you didn't do your job fully or you didn't have enough time to do it. And
They
you
had
know,
4
that's what
years.
it's, huh?
They had 4 years of completing the game.
Oh, I know, but you know, even that. I mean, all that's telling me is that they don't have enough time to do it. Maybe they need more time. Who knows? I don't know. Like my friend is a big Assassin's Creed fan. I haven't actually seen him online for like for a little while. I think it's because he already has it, and I'm pretty sure I'll hear a lot from him. Personally, the only Assassin's Creed game I played was the one with the Indians or whatever.
Yeah, AC3.
Yeah, the only reason I got it was because the same friend I spoke about, he got a free copy because they fucked up his pre-order so bad. So he gave it to me, and I played probably about 2 hours, and I'm just like, I can't stand this. Because, you know, I could tell you exactly what I don't like about Assassin's Creed, and it's a personal preference thing for individuals. It's, you know, they tell you to be an assassin, and they tell you want to kill people, but they want you to, have kind of an expansive story. They want to give you multiple options. But, when I'm doing a mission and I get caught killing somebody and they tell me I have to redo the mission, that's stupid to me. That should have no impact. So what?
Yeah.
I just kill everyone around me. I mean, there's only like 6 people.
Yeah, I really get frustrated with that stuff as well. Yeah, you should have the option to just go Rambo or try being stealth. I mean, Far Cry does a far better job of that compared to Assassin's Creed when it comes at least to the mission structure.
At least put in something story-wise as to why that would be a failure. Like, are you guys trying to infiltrate, an entire city, and thus, if you blow your cover, your whole group's going to be, eventually smoked out or something like that? I mean, I've never played them, so.
Yeah, sometimes that's all right if you have to be stealthy all the way and you cannot be caught because someone's kidnapped or something like that, and the alarm is raised. That's fine, but it happens when you get discovered or stuff like that, and it's just stupid. At least sometimes. And we can also talk about Halo Master Chief. Cortana has probably something he wants to say about that with the online issues. And
I actually haven't. I haven't even tried to get online yet. I've just been. So I think I went over this last night. I'm a big Halo nerd. I have like a set of Master Chief armor and all that crap. So and my girlfriend just doesn't get it. She's like, I don't get it. It's just a game. Why so into it? And I was like, well, there's like a story and this and that. And I started trying to explain the story, and I was like, God, I sound like a retard. So so I was just like, look, here's what'll happen. I'll get it if you want to play it. Cool. And she's like, no, but I'll just watch you play it. And I was like, all right. So I just been playing the single player. I haven't even jumped on the multiplayer yet. But
say since you are probably the biggest fan of Halo here, if you were a reviewer and you got Halo Master Chief collection in front of you, and the online didn't work, how much would that affect you?
I mean, how would it affect my score? All right, so. To me, I get a lot more pissed off when the game itself is broken than having server-side issues. Okay, so we can go with Diablo 3, because I bought that on day one.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a game that I got like really pumped up for and whatever, because I love Diablo 2. And when that came out, I would not actually have been pissed off. Would I dock it a little bit? Yeah, but would I have been pissed off if I was doing a review? Not so much, other than the fact that game requires you be online. Now, with Master Chief Collection, if it was something where, for some reason, since you couldn't get to the 343 Industries servers, and suddenly your Xbox wouldn't let you play any of the game live, that would be a huge fuck-up, in my opinion. But considering that it's, day one shakeouts, it depends how long it takes them to fix it, I guess. If I was doing a review, I would sit there, I would give it a score based on the content, and then I would probably delay my multiplayer review until I got to play multiplayer. If it gets to 5-6 days in and there's still no solution to the multiplayer, I'd sit there and I'd be like, look, this is ridiculous, They shouldn't be releasing a game that the big focus is, it's the comeback of Halo 2 multiplayer, or really for me, Combat Evolved multiplayer, which... I used to have to sit in my buddy's living room, and we were jury-rigging, an original Xbox console through MIRC. Oh, shit, my dog just got here. I might have to go. Through MIRC and stuff like that. And yep, my dog's here. Hi, baby. Hello. Hi. Sorry, guys. Hold on. I'll turn off my mic so you don't have to hear this.
Hello. How about you, Dustin? How much would it matter to you?
I'm sorry, I missed that conversation because of the fire siren thing. If it was online only?
No, just how would you score like Assassin's Creed Unity and Halo Master Chief with the issues they have? because with Halo it's online, but with Unity it's an issue with a game or a single player.
I can accept I can accept online issues. I can honestly accept that because when something comes out, there's always going to be issues. But I'm not sure. I mean, how long has it been out versus how long has it needed to be updated? That's my real question. I mean, has it been out for a while?
I mean, they've just gone out. Just take how they are now, just right now.
Oh, 1 second.
We can ask you, Angel.
Yeah.
We're waiting.
Can you repeat the question, please? Expand on it a little because I kind of lost track of the conversation a little bit.
Well, sorry, I'm back. I can continue on that. So it has been. I mean, see, the thing is, an online issue for me should be fixed within the first week. It should be outright fixed. So if it's been past a week, it's unacceptable. For Assassin's Creed, the game's buggy. The game's fucked up. That's not acceptable. I don't care if you have to do an extension for that to fix those things, but that's the core of the game that you're talking about. That isn't like a feature of the game, and that's the difference for me.
All right, but the online part is it's a pretty big part of Halo. I mean, how much of the review in percent would you like rate it or take it into consideration?
How much? I mean, yeah, Halo has a competitive scene. It'd be like, Modern Warfare or Battlefield 4 losing their online. I mean, I would bring it down to like probably a 6. I'd almost take half the score off.
Yeah.
And then for Assassin's Creed, I give them I take at least 3/4 because that's just not acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, GameSpot gave what you just said, the 6 to Halo. So if it's a big part, I mean, when you have like FPS games where they have a big part online, I think you should detract it because it's a big deal for the game. And yeah, how about you, Angel?
Well, the way I see it, the way I review something in regards to a game, to me, it will depend. It will not depend on the game. It's if the game is famous for its single player multiplayer scene. The thing is, when you release a game, you release a product, and if the product is broken, then it's not a good product, and you owe it to the consumer to give them a good product. So if
Yeah, just go ahead. I'm agreeing with you.
So when you, for example, let's say that you release a game. It's a good game with both single player and multiplayer, with offline and online play. The offline's good, but the online is buggy as heck. If I can't go on the game online because it's so laggy that it crashes, if I was a reviewer, I would knock down so many points off that game because, as far as I'm concerned, the online is half the game.
Yeah.
It might not even be half the game because most games like that, you spend more time online than off. I can play, for example, Uncharted 2 and pass it in 2 days, but I would be spending weeks playing it online. So
Yeah.
if the online isn't working right, if there's a problem with the online, then there's a problem with the game total.
Yeah, and I feel some of the or most reviewers are just neglecting that. When I'm looking at the Metacritic, and Halo Master Chief Collection has an 87 right now, and I feel that's kind of misleading.
Do you feel it earned that 87?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel the same way Dustin feels about this. I mean, if the game doesn't work online, it should be detracted for the score.
Indeed.
Did they put that in context, though? That's the question. Like, did they put any context to that? Like, the game itself, I mean, like, the mechanics and everything could be at 87 worth it, but, you know, the fact that they released it, I feel like if they do give a high score like that, they need to put in context that the online is not, they did not take that in consideration for whatever reason. And that's kind of what Gamergate's about, you know? We want context on these things. So, I mean, the first thing I would do in the title is go, Halo, you know, we're giving Halo an 87 out of 100, but that's not including the online, which is like, you know, fucking 40% of the game. That's probably being generous.
I mean, just a quick, Angel. I looked at the IGN score, and I know that the guy who reviewed it is a big Halo fanboy. And when I looked at his summary, he did mention there were online issues, but it still gave it a 9.0. And
9.0.
Yeah, so I feel that's really wrong to do something like that.
You know, I gotta say, I'm okay with a fanboy giving a very high score to the franchise he's a fanboy of, so long as that fanboy admits it. Because, you know, every critic will have a bias.
Yeah, sure.
Every critic will have a bias, and there's no such thing as an unbiased person. But what we're asking is, if you're biased, tell us. Tell us you're biased, so that we can take your review with a grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly. And when I looked through it, it wasn't a lot of mention of. I haven't seen the video review yet, but the online wasn't a big mention in the rating part, I think. I think that's kind of wrong.
No, that is wrong, because, you know, even if he doesn't talk about it, he at least needs to list what the issues are, so that someone. I mean, the review isn't to simply, you know, shoehorn a game. It's to tell the consumer what they expect to get. Now, I could see, like, if it was me and I was a Halo fan, like, I'll put it in perspective, you know, Borderlands 2. If it had online issues from the not Borderlands 2, I don't know, Fire Emblem, let's go with that. It has online, I guess. You know, if there was a problem with the online, I would say this Fire Emblem game is the best Fire Emblem game I've ever played. But the online doesn't work, and here's what the problem with the online is, but take it in the context that they're eventually going to fix it. So whether you want to buy the game now or later, I'm going to leave that up to you. But to me, the online wasn't a big deal, because I don't care about the online feature. And, you know, that's perfectly acceptable. And I think anyone that is actually genuinely trying to get consumers to make the right choices can make that common sense decision. That's how I feel.
I agree. I agree 100% with that.
And I don't expect anyone to disagree with that, because it's so common fucking sense.
Yeah, it is. Simon, how about you? What do you feel about this?
Well, I come from a country where consumer rights are pretty much paramount, and I'm pretty biased from that. So if a product comes and it's broken, like there's a part not working, the online part, I would not be able to give it a score or recommend it to anyone, because I don't get a full game and I can't give a full review, and well.
No, I understand that. I feel like it's a little extremist, but again, you know, you come from where everyone should be. I mean, everyone's perspective should be, you know, everything should be like consumer paramount. And unfortunately, over here, I mean, the fact that we could get that much, just the honesty, I mean, that adds a lot for me. That's sad to say, though.
Yeah, but again, I'm speaking as if I was reviewing this as part of, well, my job. If I'm just reviewing for my own benefits, I would give it 2 scores, one for the online part and one for the single player part. Because to me, those two can be totally different games. If I play something like Battlefield 42, the old one, the single player is pretty much the multiplayer, just with humans instead of bots. But there are some games like Call of Duty where it's totally different play style.
I feel like actually a lot of games nowadays have that kind of feature. You know, online is a completely different battlefield than what you would deal with in like a regular game. I mean, even Super Smash Brothers has like an entirely new repertoire of strategies that you have to fucking use just to challenge anybody. But I mean that goes for all fighters. But
Yeah, I just mean if you feel that it's a different game, single player versus the multiplayer, I think you should give it 2 different scores. Because
absolutely.
there are people like me who are pretty much all single player. I don't give a shit how good it is playing with other people. That's not the game I'm getting.
And it's funny because when I have seen reviews where they do that, and I feel like a lot of them actually criticize the community, because that's another aspect you got to think about it too, is the community, and then you have the balancing system, which I can almost say almost every game I've come across has a terrible, terrible balancing system. Like they just can't get it fucking right.
I was gonna talk about this yesterday, but we kind of got derailed totally. Do you think the press is too little or gives too little or too much slack to games? Like people can have a different opinion than me, but I think when I see Call of Duty getting 8s and 9s and even 10s every year, I kind of question what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, even the Battlefield franchise is fucking gone down the fucking shitter because of this shit. I mean, like, when you have people that are willing to give high reviews based off, the reputation and opportunity, then they're going to start slacking on what they're making, because ultimately it's their voice that's going to be heard, not ours, until after the first day sales come across, which everyone is currently, that's a standard at this point. You have to have the game the first day. You have to pre-order it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you kind of touched on this yesterday. I think it was you, Dustin, where you talked about reviews becoming too lazy.
Yeah, I mean I feel like it was also Brian that said something. I believe so. I can't remember, but yeah, I mean, when it gets down to it, why put the effort in when it's kind of a double-edged sword with me, because I feel like these people don't have they don't consider their job high prestige. So as long as they can get by and they're getting getting that the prestige from the company that, hey, look, there's a lot of people reading your article, they feel better about it. They feel better about their position. And I mean, I guess that applies to every job, but it's a little different because they're trying to speak for a consumer's voice, but then it's like the farther they get into it, they kind of get smeared, and it becomes more of the corporate voice. And I feel like it's an American problem big time, too. I mean, I know there's other countries involved in this, but, I'm not even sure. Is Kotaku an American company or American publisher or whatever?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes it even worse because, our government system right now is essentially, I mean, we let politicians get as many donations from a single citizen as much as they want, and then that kind of strings down to there because it's the same publisher. I mean, it's the same world, with the journalists. It's the same damn world because Fox News can't get an interview with the president, but any other person that throws softball questions at him can. and I feel like it's kind of transitioned to the gaming world in terms of the laziness and making sure that they can get the opportunity to get the first world response. I feel like we'll see a lot cleaner and a lot more professionally done articles if us as a community didn't expect it on the first day.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's too much slack when it comes to the reviews. I just feel when you see a game just making slight improvements every year, and you give the game almost the same score, and it hasn't improved much. I mean, what the hell? Who are these guys reviewing it for? For the companies or for us?
Well, Lizzie, or what's her name? Kay Liana or whatever, Liana K.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish she was part of this conversation too, because she really did have kind of the other side of this that we don't understand because we're not part of that environment. But when gaming companies are doing these embargoes, and I mean when people are doing these embargoes and shit, and then they're also giving these people only 2 weeks to review games, and us as the consumer want it the first day it comes out or like the day before, you can see how it's unrealistic for us to get a decent review out of it. So I feel like there is kind of a pull and push that we need to also participate in, where we shouldn't be expecting high quality shit on the first day basis, unless first off game companies at least give them a month in advance to play the game fully, or or us just wait a week. I mean, well, which one's more likely to happen?
Yeah, but what I'm if you guys remember the Sim City disaster, and a lot of companies, I think IGN was one of them, even though they kind of screwed up with the Halo Master Chief Collection. I feel they said they were gonna do post-release reviews when it comes to games that have online.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel a lot of people haven't learned their lesson because of this. You can do the review for at least the single player and first impressions from the multiplayer, but you don't have the official experience that everyone else is experienced post-release, because the servers can work just as fine before the release, because the only ones playing are the reviewers. It's not getting stressed or anything like that. And after the release, you are actually playing on the same level as everyone else.
Yeah, that's true too. So I guess the only way to fix it is to essentially, is to give reviewers more time. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. And unfortunately, you're right. I mean, people are going to be a little dissuaded. They want to buy it on the first day because they want to be on the same level on the same starting ground as everyone else.
Yeah, that's true. I want to chime in. Angel, what do you think of this?
Let me think. Hold on, I got a telephone. I got a call.
Okay.
A telephone call. Okay. So you continue without me. Okay?
Yeah, Simon, how about you?
Hello.
Well, I think it's a two-part issue because you mute him while he talks.
Yeah, just mute him for. Oh, okay.
I muted him.
Okay.
I think it's a two-part because one, you got the publishers who have advertised and tried to push out for as much day one purchase as possible, and then we have the media who have been on that side. They have wanted day one stuff too, to be the first with it, not to be the most correct, but just to be first. And as consumers, we hear this and we get affected by it. So that's why you get those long lines of first-day purchase. And so I think we need to focus as consumers. If we don't want to be scammed out of our money, we need to focus on which developers say, hey, we fucked up, we're going to fix this shit quick or delay it, and then have it fixed and not still publish broken shit. And then only trust those who actually give us good responses, the media, who actually sit down and say, hey, we review this, and I don't care, it's their job. I don't care if they have to play 24 hours straight the day before release because they just got the game there. It's their fucking job. I can't go down to where I work and say, hey, can I do this tomorrow? Because, well, I don't give a shit. Well, I can, but I'm fired. I mean, if you, as a media like Kotaku or whatever, don't get games as soon as the others and don't have enough time to review it, sit down, tell your fucking journalist to play it through. You can't just do 2 hours. I don't give a shit. Then it's not a job, then it's a hobby, and then they can piss off. That's just my 2 cents, of course.
You actually gave me an idea while stating that today, because that's absolutely right. You know, we shouldn't have a standard where it has to be forced out, and if they need more time, they need to take the time. But what if they actually released the online features, like, you know, after they do all the patching and stuff? I mean, why do that? Do you think it would be wrong for them to release one part of the game and then the other part of the game like a week later to make sure all the servers and shit are working? Because, you know, another problem that happens is, you know, they do the beta test and then they buy servers based off the beta test, but the beta test doesn't necessarily, you know, represent what's going to happen, so then their servers get overloaded. Hence the Sims. So as a consumer, how would you feel if you bought Halo and then it says on the, you know, when you open it up, you know, we want you to enjoy the first player stuff. The online is going to be available a week after today's date or this date.
I mean, a perfect example of this is GTA 5. They released the online part, I think, a month or so after the game was released, and sure, it had minor issues the first days because people couldn't come in, but it worked eventually. I mean, you can do stuff like that without pissing people off.
And I feel like it also, you know, put more stress on the first player aspect of it, because obviously people are then going to be having to force to play, you know, the actual game. So, you know, maybe we get more higher standard of that, because who's going to, you know, wait for the online if the first player is so fucking terrible or so goddamn shallow that it doesn't even offer like
Indeed.
2 birds, 1 stone. See, I'm a genius. I should be in marketing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Angel, do you have something to say about this?
I don't think I can say anything that adds to this conversation, so I'm gonna have to say no.
Okay. I'm gonna move to the next topic. Whoops, 1 second. On the list I have here. So PS4 is selling most again in October. I'm gonna post the list of the best-selling games. What do you think about the console war right now?
As expected.
Come on, we all knew the PS4 would win.
I mean, damn, Super Smash Bros. #2? That doesn't really surprise me, but again, it kind of does because everyone's been, talking shit about the Wii U and Nintendo and shit, and that got number 2. Then number 1's NBA, and then you got Destiny number 5. That's surprising to me. I know it was like a disappointment, but I don't know. Xbox kind of dug themselves into a hole they couldn't get out of, and I don't know if it was because their PR was just terrible. But
we can't touch that with Xbox One and how they handled the release, because that actually has affected them even a year. It's over a year now since they announced the console, and it's still affecting them.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't gonna get an Xbox One either way because I didn't even own an Xbox ever in my lifetime. But after I read like how much they were just like, it felt like I was being lectured when I was listening to their E3. I didn't really get hyped up. I just felt like a child being told, we know you're not responsible enough to do the right thing, so we're going to make sure you do everything right, okay? We're just going to be your older brother, make sure everything's just peachy keen,
Takes a special kind of asshole to be like that.
As someone mentioned yesterday, if it was PC-oriented, yeah, I can understand, because there are people that pirate shit on the PC. And there should be some type of, wall there. But for a fucking, goddamn console, these are people that don't want to invest into a PC. These are people that just want something to plug in and play like a VCR,
Indeed.
And, to put a DRM on that is ridiculous, because, I mean, for you to be able to even do half the pirating that they're, like, supposedly saying, oh, share games with friends? No. But I know they retracted most of that bullshit, apparently, didn't they? Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, they turned around and took out the DRM, and like a month before they said Kinect wasn't required to make the Xbox work, and then they ditched the Kinect. I mean, it's good that they're backpedaling, but at the same time, if they were looking out for gamers and cared, they would have done what Sony did. I mean, they didn't actually have to do anything. They just had to say in 2013, like, just give the knockout jab that, hey, we don't have DRM. And people were just so happy. I mean, well, how much do you have to fuck up to say, no, we just don't have this?
Wasn't there like a GIF of the PS4 guy, the spokesman? He had a script and he threw it out, and it was just like, yeah, everything they said, we're not doing. So yeah, bye.
Yeah, it's basically like that. It's like, hey, that other console that's pushing you all this shit on you. Hey, we're not doing that. Come and buy it. It's even cheaper. And I think when people have a memory of that stuff. I was actually considering getting the Xbox One. I didn't actually care if it was a little bit weaker. But when they did that shit, I just said, nope, screw it. I'm buying a PS4.
I mean, like, it was really kind of scary, though, to me, because for someone to kind of have the balls to try to do that, I mean, how long into the future until we're just kind of like, whatever, I guess we just have to tolerate it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking next generations, it's going to be scary if, like, PS4 or PS5, rather, is just like, oh, yeah, all the Xbox things, we did some evaluating, we kind of agree what they want to do, and then the Xbox kind of follows suit. I hope that doesn't happen, but, that opportunities there now, because if it's like how the cable companies are here in the United States. They have a monopoly. It's unofficial, but it's essentially, they're claiming territories. So when you have nothing but fucking you have 3 game consoles, and 2 out of 3 of them are just like supporting DRM, and everyone thinks the Nintendo console's a joke. I mean, eventually there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna cave because they don't have they don't want to transfer to the PC variant, and they just want the living room experience, and they can't have it because both systems are fucking them in the ass. So eventually, I feel like a lot of people are just gonna be like, whatever, guess I'll tolerate it.
Yeah, that might be very big blow to gaming culture. The way I have these.
Yeah, I mean, they did say gaming or consoles were dead before this generation, but it's breaking all records, so I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon.
I don't want to say consoles are ever going to be dead because first off, I enjoy having PC. I like having the options available to me. It's a lot more malleable, but I kind of understand things better than the average person. I'm no expert, mind you, but I mean I understand enough to get by. But a lot of people don't want, for you to have a good gaming PC, and I mean one that's comparable to a console and is going to last longer than a console. I mean you're going to be spending at least $800, and some people just don't want to make that initial investment. And I can understand that, yeah.
Cortana's back. Have you heard something about what we're talking about?
Oh, no, sorry, I was totally in the other place spazzing out with my dog, so I was going to try to catch up in the chat.
We were talking about how actually the past and a little bit future about the consoles and how Xbox screwed up with the DRM. What did you think of this situation, and how do you think we have DRM in the future consoles?
Oh, man, I feel like they backpedaled a lot when we threw a shit fit. So that was kind of honestly that was kind of encouraging because I did not want to connect. I did not want something that was always online transmitting, everything that you ever do and say in your living room. Like, it was just creepy. It was just that sort of voyeuristic obsession that all corporations seem to have now, where they just want to spy on us 24 hours a day. And I'm not trying to get into any kind of crazy red pilling stuff. I just think it's marketing, right? But
it happened right after the NSA scandal with Snowden, so it's...
Yeah, exactly, and so it's right on the heel of that, and Microsoft was one of the primary partners with them in the PRISM program. So the whole thing was creepy, and then the fact that they actually responded to us throwing, a temper tantrum, more or less, was kind of encouraging, because all of a sudden this piece of hardware that was so sophisticated and needed Kinect and needed this and needed that, magically it didn't need any of that stuff, which pisses me off because it shows that they were being dishonest, but at the same time ultimately we got what we want. Will they eventually be able to sneak something like that through? Yeah, I think as more and more kids grow up, just living on Facebook and posting every mundane piece of their life on Instagram, there won't be enough of us shouting like, hey, this is bullshit, and there'll be more people who are like, yeah, I can't wait to, have Nike ads and Papa John's Pizza instant call delivery on my Xbox 720 or whatever they end up making it. So I think eventually it will go full online all the time, but that's just the nature of the beast.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Sama?
I stopped caring about any kind of console after the NES and the PS1, so cut me out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that I mentioned it to the others, Cortana, when Sony just basically says, hey, we're just not doing that, and get applause, the biggest applause they've ever gotten, and sell like hell, like they are right now. I mean, that just tells us how much they fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And you can see it in the sales as well. Microsoft is basically begging everyone to buy the Xbox One with all the price cuts and bundles and whatever they are doing right now.
Yeah, the reason I mean, I'll be honest, if it wasn't for Halo, again, I know that makes me a huge fanboy, I would not buy an Xbox probably. The only reason I ended up getting one was because my brother refuses, and he's the guy I do most of my gaming with, he refuses to get a PlayStation for some reason, which is really bizarre to me because he, I don't know, he was just like a big PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast guy, but he won't get the new consoles. He only wants Xbox. And so I got it for that. But if it wasn't for him and Halo, I would definitely just go PS4, PC all the way. Really PC. I mean, I'm an old school PC guy, so that's what I spend most of my time on.
Yeah, I mean, they have I would have gotten Xbox One as well. I said it to the others. If they hadn't screwed up with their whole messaging and their policies, I would have probably gotten one because I was actually ready to pre-order one the day they announced it. And when I just saw what they were talking about, I was like, "What the fuck are they doing?" And I just pre-ordered the PS4 right away when I saw that shit.
I'll say this, and I don't, I haven't got to play with the PS4's operating, well, whatever they want to call it, their whatever their like interface. But right now, for me, it's a toss-up between the new Xbox interface and Google Plus. Are two of the clumsiest, most like overly complicated. It's interesting as they go more and more for simplicity and integration. Somehow they make everything more like archaic and labyrinthine. Like you just can't figure out how to use this shit because there's no words anymore. It's like we don't want anyone to have to read anything. It's just symbols and happy faces and like bubbles and stuff like that. And it's really bad, honestly. I wish they would have just kept the 360 interface and added extra little tabs for all the. I'm not even doing the TV integration or any of that stuff. I mean, I just want my video game console to be a video game console. I'm tired of this shit trying to like whip its way into everything else. Like my TV's my TV, my game console's my game console, my PC's my PC.
Yeah,
Stop
exactly.
trying to put your fingers in everything I do.
Yeah, and I also think that that's a big mistake because Simon and I were living in Europe, and Microsoft is just dropping the ball major there. I had a 360 for the longest time as my main console, but the features and the live just didn't make it worth it because. It's just so bare boned here compared to the US that I just dropped. I have a 360, but I haven't touched it in a year. So it's just for us, at least where I live, I just feel that Microsoft is just dropping the ball very much.
So what is the difference? What features are you guys not able to get your hands on over there?
I mean, we don't have any. I have like a weather app and Netflix. That's about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow, that is bare bones. Holy shit. Yeah. Speaking of Microsoft fucking up in other countries, I feel like Nintendo does the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, I mean, the region locking is also very bad.
Oh, dude, even just using Pokemon as an example, man. They got like these awesome steel cases you can get with the game and everything, but it's only Europe only. You know what the USA got? We got 100 free potions. That's it. That was our pre-order bonus. But these other people are getting like figurines, and shit, and like little cute little knick-knack shit, and we get 100 fucking potions.
Yeah.
Well, Nintendo has always pulled that kind of shit.
I'm sorry?
Nintendo have always pulled that kind of shit. Different games, even though they should be the same.
Yeah, and it's really...
So we can't really expect anything else from those guys. But I mean, when you go into consoles, it should be the fucking same.
It really should.
No excuse, to be honest. But yeah, it's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I agree, and it's kind of annoying. I know. I'm just glad we got Fire Emblem over here. One of the region lock games that we fucking need to get the whole series over here. There was another game recently that people have been vying to get out of here. I forgot what it was though. I know Gundam's one of them.
Did any of you guys ever play Front Mission? Any of those games?
Yeah.
No.
Don't do it. Just don't do it.
Well, what was that game about? I'm curious.
Front Mission was kind of like, well, it depends. The only one that I ever played, because again, there was a lot of where it didn't. I don't think it ever really came out of Japan, other than a couple of them. And the one that I got was, I want to say it was Front Mission 4. Let me double check for PlayStation. And it was kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics meets like. I guess Gundam Wing. I don't really. But you had giant mechs, and your pilots gained abilities, and then you could build and customize your different mech units and stuff like that. And the fourth one was awesome. Like I played that game like crazy. But then they never released number 5, which was also supposed to be really good in the U.S. And then the last thing they released was some sort of like third-person shooter, which apparently was just god awful. And that, of course, they brought to the U.S. And everyone's just like, "What the fuck? Like, why do you bring this shit?"
Front Mission Evolved. It's so horrible.
That's what it is. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, it's utter shit.
Yeah, so it's basically like they're like, "Oh, Americans won't buy an interesting, deep game with a lot of like customization, but they'll buy this piece of steaming shit where we just slap the name on it, even though there's no name recognition for it in the U.S." I don't know.
Yeah.
Some of their strategies are very strange.
God, what was that game? Oh, you know what game I really liked? I wish they brought more over. Custom Robo.
What is that?
It was a fun game. It's kind of like the customizable thing, but you create like these little, like what they would do is it was kind of like Beyblades, I guess, like in that kind of environment. You have these tiny little things, but then you would customize them to have like different weapons, which results in different combinations. Like you could have a flamethrower and an ice cannon, and then you'd have it would shrink the entire environment down, and you'd fight like in this square arena, and it'd have like interesting stage differences and stuff. Like, you fight in a volcano, and then would change into something else. And it was a really fun game. I loved it. I mean, I was a lot younger at the time, but it was on the GameCube, and that was the only one that came over to the US. I think there was another one that came on the 3DS, but I don't remember. But yeah, it's really a shame, because a lot of games in Japan do take after Final Fantasy Tactics, and they just don't bring them over.
Yeah, that kind of frustrates me as a Vita owner.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to mention, I don't know if you guys heard this, but Miyamoto was in an interview, I don't know with who it was, I think it was Verge or something, and he said that Xbox One and PS4 were not a big deal. They just released the same thing over and over again. They didn't stand out. And I feel that's a bit hypocritical when they were just released Mario, Zelda, Smash Bros, and Mario Kart almost every year.
The thing about Nintendo, I'm a Nintendo fanboy. I'll put that in discretion. When they do re-release those games, they definitely do add a lot of different content. I think what he's alluding to is, you release PS4, you release Xbox, and then you get the first-person shooter wave, and that's it. Really, Call of Duty is like the quintessential example of that, because they don't really add too much. All they do is kind of just add a couple extra features, but it's the same game engine and stuff. But you got to remember too, these guys are competitors, so they're going to be talking shit about each other until the end of time.
Yeah, it's just that I feel that's kind of hypocritical to say when they're basically really. I know that games are good, but they haven't done any new IPs in a long time, and saying that the other two consoles don't do anything new I just feel it's a bit hypocritical.
Well, I feel like the reason why they don't do new IPs, and every time I play a new Mario game, it feels like an entirely new game to me. That's me. And Super Smash Brothers is the same deal. I mean, when they do re-release those IPs, I feel like they are releasing a totally different game. I mean, of course the concept is the same, and they kind of do it tongue-in-cheek in a lot of situations. And don't get me wrong, I mean, he's absolutely wrong about the PS4 and Xbox, but I feel like he had that concept in mind. Like, God of War was a fantastic, series, and when Bayonetta was on those two systems, I mean, those were unique games and they were fun. It was a shame that Nintendo had to pick up Bayonetta 2, but you know.
Yeah,
whatever.
but they Bayonetta 2 wouldn't be made if Nintendo didn't fund them.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a shame because they really missed out on something. That was a very unique concept, and they kind of just threw it away, or gave it away, rather.
Yeah, and I feel Nintendo does a really good job with their first party, but they just obliterated the third party with their console. Don't know what they're doing with that.
What do you mean obliterate? You mean the Wii U obliterated them, or the
Yeah,
3DS?
no, the Wii U, because nobody wants to make games anymore. I mean, Call of Duty isn't even coming to Wii U.
Is it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Wii U's in a shit. It's shit right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, Super Smash Brothers will keep it alive, and they'll make it a decent sale. But and Mario Kart definitely was pretty good too. Bayonetta definitely is going to make a major impact. But the console itself, I mean, I feel like it was a failure. But the 3DS definitely like sold a lot fucking better. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, they do know their handhelds, but they just dropped the ball with Wii U because I've said to others before. I think the name was a big issue. If they just call it like Nintendo U or something like that, they would have gotten rid of all the confusion.
Absolutely, definitely, yes. I hope they don't make the same mistake. Though, you know, I gotta say though, the Wii U is definitely an interesting concept. I don't own one, but the whole gamepad thing, you know, the tablet thing, I thought that was like a great direction to go. So I'm hoping that the next system they release is just gonna be mind blowing. Hopefully.
Yeah, I just hope they learn from the mistakes. Angel or anyone else, you guys have any opinions on this?
Can't say I do.
Yeah, I haven't really. I got an original Wii, and honestly, all I did was play the bowling thing for a few months while I was like hanging out back home with my parents, like during the holidays and stuff. My mom's obsessed with that. But other than that, yeah, I never played any of the Zelda games on it. I've never gotten into Smash Brothers or anything like that. What boggles my mind is you had the Wii U had what, like a 1 year jump on the other next generation consoles.
Yeah.
And they didn't do shit with it. They just kind of sat there like, duh, whatever. They had a full 12 months to try to run stuff up. Now, I don't know if that's just because the hardware isn't really up to par with, you know, what the other next generation stuff was. So it's like there wasn't a lot of a push because it was basically just like, okay, well, the Wii U is kind of on par with the 360, but once this other stuff comes out, you know, we're going to be back in the back with hardware again. So I don't know why they did that. I would have thought that if they had a year jump, they would have just tried to figure out a way to get like some kind of breakout thing like a Last of Us or a Uncharted. And by that I mean like something where it's just completely divergent, where they just come up with something out of nowhere, right? And just try to slam that home and then be like, look, everyone has to get this console because we have bleh. And they just didn't do that. And it again, it's one of those weird things where it's like, these marketing people make millions and millions of dollars, and they seem so inept.
I mean, they can't expect to sell consoles with games like Zombie U and Pikmin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead, Dustin.
Well, I was gonna say that's exactly the problem. Like their hardware is actually on par with the current systems, the current generation. The problem that they had is as said earlier, that they focus on re-releasing the old IPs, but they were saving up all the ones. The reason why you would buy a Wii U was you wanted the next generation of those IPs, and I can tell you right now, the marketing team's like, no, we got to wait until the new systems come out so that we're competitive with them by releasing our like sucker punches, and they're kind of making it, but I mean, again, it's going to bring the Wii U to a subpar, standard. Like at most they're going to break even just with Super Smash.
See,
But,
to me, that makes no sense because it's like, why would you hold back on something until the competition is out and then try to sell your console? The thing about gamers is everyone's so impulsive and no one can fucking wait, 12 hours before they buy something.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
release it with all that stuff, and then everyone's gonna go, "Oh, well, I'm bored of my 360 because," and they're just gonna go out and buy a Wii U, and then they'll have your platform, and then they're more likely to buy your stuff. I never thought about buying one because by the time anything interesting comes out, I'll already have an Xbox and a PlayStation and a new gaming PC or whatever. So I don't know. It was a really really weird kind of 12-month jump they had there.
Yeah,
Or you could also get the Ouya.
frankly, they should not have released the Wii. If they wanted to be competitive, like I was just explaining their thought process, but if they wanted to do that, they shouldn't have released it a year before and be like, okay, well, everyone just buy it in anticipation for these games. They're
Right.
coming out. We promise you, they're coming out.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they said for an entire year. And another point I'd like to bring up regarding Nintendo is, their 3DS did fantastic, and the reason why it does fantastic is because the Japanese they don't worry about home consoles. Most of their gaming's done on trains, so they want portable devices, and guess where they're marketing towards?
Yeah.
Yeah, Simon, I don't know if you have anything, or Angel, you have any opinions?
No. I'm not
No.
a console person.
Okay, are there any final thoughts on this matter?
I'm good.
Cortana?
I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm cool.
I'm a homeboy.
I don't know. I saw the story about the new Fast and Furious movie, and I don't know. How do you feel there's gonna be 3 new movies?
God, they already signed on for 3 more.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean,
go
that's
ahead.
that's the Call of Duty of movies now. It's the dude bro. Don't get me wrong. I love Fast and Furious. The first one is one of those terrible movies that is so bad it's good. And about 20% of the stupid shit and inside jokes between me and my group of friends is probably spawned out of that, with the other 60% being Dave Chappelle and then other random South Park stuff. So I like them. I've seen them all. It's just it's funny how the movies have almost nothing to do with cars anymore. It used to be about car culture, and now they're just really over the top, ridiculous action movies, which I don't know, whatever. I mean, that's cool. It gets people's asses in the seats. So at least someone in Hollywood's doing that.
Yeah, I think someone I saw it in the comments or something that they saw The Rock with a minigun, and they said, "What the hell is this? A Terminator?"
Yeah.
I found that very funny because it really doesn't have anything with Fast and Furious. It's really about
Did
just
you guys-
shooting shit.
Did you guys ever? I'll see if I can find it. But some nerd went out there and was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let's see. The average plane, doing takeoff goes this
yeah.
fast, and they like figured out it was like a 42-mile runway or something."
I remember that. Yeah, sure. Okay. Do you like the series as a whole, or do you have any opinions on it?
Okay.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. Well, first, I like to say I've never seen a single Fast and Furious film
Oh
before.
my god.
They're not my type of movie.
Right.
But people like the movies, and I guess people paid. People get paid to make those movies. People pay to see those movies. The way I see it, hey, if there's gonna be 3 more movies, then the fans of the franchise are gonna be happy, and I say good for them.
Yeah, Dustin.
I watched the last one. That was the only one I watched. I thought it was funny how they took on a tank.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, okay. I'm not a big fan of them, unfortunately. It was tragic about the guy that got killed in the accident, though.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just, I love South Park and everything, so don't get me wrong. It's not that their humor is just I wasn't too impressed by it, but it feels like one of those movies I'd watch like on a Saturday afternoon,
Yeah. Simon, how about you?
Well, what can I say? I'm not a fan, but as a movie just to watch, like you said, Saturday afternoon, it's okay. I can watch it. I don't want to, but I can. I think I'm gonna leave it on that.
Well, Conta's finally judging all of us.
Hey guys.
What's up?
Oh, hey.
Nothing much. Finally free.
What are your opinion on some of the Fast and Furious franchise?
Fast and the Furious. I remember seeing Tokyo Drift. I liked it quite a lot. And I saw the last movie, and it was cool. I don't know.
Okay,
I was a little bit confused because it wasn't about racing, so I. But then again, I didn't see any of the other movies than Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
I always thought it was about racing.
If you want a Cliff Notes version, it's gone from the first one that came out was all about like American, like I'm gonna take my economy car and pretend it's a race car, and it was all about racing. And then every iteration has become more and more of an action movie. So,
okay.
I mean, fine. Like again, I like watching stuff blow up, I guess. So.
At least they didn't do the same thing over and over again.
Right.
I did see Tokyo Drift. I forgot about that, and I actually liked that one, so I'll go with that.
Yeah, that was it was cool. When I saw it, I was impressed. I mean, it wasn't super great, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
They're great popcorn movies. It's a great reason for me to have an excuse to go there and eat a bunch of shitty food and put my blood pressure through the roof.
So it's like baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Which I cannot stand watching. So yeah, so this is my baseball, I guess. Just a mindless zone out where I just kind of passively watch something.
I don't know who mentioned it. I don't know if it's Cortana or Dustin, but you guys said it was like the Call of Duty of.
Yeah, I
of
feel
the
like
movie.
they just keep stacking, like, the features are the people they bring in. So this next one has Jason Statham, right? Which makes me like, oh, I would love to watch Jason Statham and The Rock punch each other in the face. Just, I don't know why. But
Yeah. Well,
It's like bringing Kevin Spacey into Call of Duty.
yeah, exactly.
I was also going to mention this stuff has kind of happened now to comic book movies. I don't know what do you guys feel about them.
I've gotten burnt out with it. Like, I just couldn't keep up at a certain point. I didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy, which my brother told me was actually a really good one, and then
Motherfucker.
yeah, I know. I
But
know.
but
and
I feel
everyone's
the
like-
same. I feel the same way.
I got too saturated. I'm like, there's too many of these for me to watch, and I was just sort of like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll start skipping out on them now. And yeah, apparently I chose that at the exact wrong time because I saw the X-Men movie, and I was like, yeah, it was fine, whatever.
Oh,
And
I really like that one. That one was really good.
So, but yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy was supposed to be the good one, and I haven't seen it yet.
Guardians of the Galaxy was better than the Avengers, in my opinion.
The problem is, I don't know if we have. I mean, I think the new X-Men movies, they are great. Like First Class and what was the other name? Days of the Future Past.
Yeah.
But the problem with the other movies is this yearly release of every one of these movies. It's just like too much. In the beginning, everyone was excited. Oh, we're getting very good movies about comics now. and then I don't know, they're not special anymore. They're coming every year, and you know already what you're going to get and what you are expecting you're going to get, and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to watch it on DVD later or something like that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys right now, if it's a Marvel movie, you need to go watch it, because all the Marvel movies are great. They're all great. Like, I'm not a Marvel or DC fan. I could care less on either of them, but the Marvel movies are fucking fantastic.
You cannot tell me that whatever the Wolverine thing with my boy Ryan Reynolds in it as Deadpool was an awesome movie. That was terrible.
I just saw that movie.
Let me put a line here. I don't like any of the X-Men movie. I hate all of them, including the first one. I just did not like them. I've never been a big X-Men fan. But there's a difference between X-Men and the Marvel movies, because the Marvel movies are made by Disney. Well, not made by Disney, but they're published under Disney, and they're actually published by Marvel. The X-Men movies, including the Wolverine ones, are published by Fox Studios. So there's like a complete difference in quality there.
You really can see that too. I actually hadn't paid attention to that, but yeah, you're 100% right.
So yeah, I mean, if you like Thor, Iron Man 3 and Iron Man 2, they weren't that great, but they were still fun because I love Robert Downey Jr. He's totally my boy crush. I'm sorry, but you know.
You're so right.
Yeah. But and the Thor movies were good, but what's interesting about the Marvel way of doing it is each movie does intertwine with the other one. You can actually kind of see where they do, and then they kind of put it all together, and then they have a big shebang, like Avengers 2 that's coming out. Avengers 3 is going to be Iron Man versus Captain America. That's going to be fucking sick.
Civil War.
I mean, the wonderful thing about these movies, what they do is actually bring this old feel of adventure movies back, which, I mean, all the movies from before Iron Man started and things like that, they were always going so serious, and even thinking about the Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, it wasn't actually that humorous. And now we have actually these new Marvel movies which have very much humor and are very adventurous. And we didn't have those kind of movie for so long.
Well, I mean, think about it, though. The Spider-Man movies, they were made by Fox Studios. The X-Men...
No, Sony.
Huh?
Sony.
Yeah.
Is it Sony? I thought it was Fox. Oh, okay, my bad. Whatever. Okay, never mind then. There goes my point out the window. I was just going to say that, you know, they're grim-like, you know? But, you know, the Superman movie, what did you guys think about that? It's the Man of Steel.
I loved it, personally. I'm a DC guy, so I'm like a fanboy.
I didn't see it.
Me either.
I saw the trailer, and I don't know. I'm really a big fan of the original Superman movie, which was very, I don't know, very good-natured Superman, and a very positive movie, and with humor, and when I saw the trailer for the new Superman, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna skip that.
I've never been a big, Superman fan, just because he's just too over the top. I like when there's a little more, they're a little more grounded. I don't want my superheroes to be gods, necessarily. But I will say this, Zack Snyder, I don't really particularly like his movies, but he sure knows how to make a very pretty movie.
He knows how to visualize.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, it looked like a Superman movie. It looked like the comic book had jumped off the page. And he did the same thing with 300. It doesn't necessarily make it good, but I mean, my God, some of the visuals that he pulls off are really pretty awesome.
We have like all the schedules of Marvel and DC now, and we have like Justice League, new Green Lantern, new Superman movie, Batman vs Superman, Avengers, all that stuff. Are you looking forward to it, or is it just too much?
as I said before, I think the excitement is gone more or less. I think when I saw Iron Man the first time, it was really cool because it was just like seeing a comic, but not in the grim tone of like the Nolan Batman movies, which I do like, but completely different. And by now, we already know the kind of way they go, and it's more like reading. I don't know. It's actually like reading comics, which are coming out every month. And when you're reading like Spider-Man every month, I don't know. It's not my thing.
I mean, I personally think that it's a good time to be a geek now with Star Wars, DC, Marvel, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I feel kind of excited. I don't know how about you guys.
I'm excited for all the Marvel movies. Like I am ready to go with those. Because I mean, you're right though. Like all of them are great because they're all world building, and that's what I really like about it. Because normally when you got a superhero movie, it was just like, here's a superhero. Sometimes you got a backstory. Sometimes you would just go right into the fray, and then the end. That was the end. But this type of new environment that they're introducing to us is all of them are connected. I mean, the Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man. I mean, we're going to see all these people, and they're all going to have influences towards the main villains, and that world building is what gets to me, and that's why I love watching them. Like I got them all on my fucking calendar.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys like what Disney is doing with Star Wars movies, then?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't really. I feel like I can't say anything until it comes out. It's one of those things where I'm sort of like, don't fuck this up.
You see, if I'm going to judge from the 2009 Star Trek, then I think Abrams got really talent doing it, a space adventure movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can capture it. But we still have to see what he's going to do, because when I saw The Wrath of Khan, I don't know. That was stupid. I don't know how big Star Trek fans you guys are, but
I actually liked it. I thought it was good.
I liked the 2009 a lot because it was very much like a
Star Trek movie. Yeah, I liked how they made Khan more of like, you know, they made him they made him look like a perfectionist, you know, versus like the caveman that we known him for. And I thought that was definitely a fun way of doing it, because, you know, it's a whole new timeline and everything. But my dad's a much bigger Trekkie fan than I am. I mean, I just grew up on it because it was on the television.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Never really liked them. The last 3 movies were terrible.
The what movies?
Huh?
The prequels.
Which one?
The
okay,
prequels,
yes.
yeah.
They were, absolutely.
Picard.
Huh?
Kirk or Picard?
Oh, now you're just starting wars over here.
Holy shit.
I don't know.
I like Picard.
I like Picard more because there was just more thought behind the whole thing. I mean, TOS is very nice to watch, but it's not fully fleshed out, the whole idea. It's more like a space adventure with some of the issues they were going to put later into TNG. And that's why I like Picard more, but Kirk does have his qualities.
I mean, one was more like a cartoon, while the other one became like a drama kind of, you know, series.
Yes.
They really made that transition.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm kind of out of topics. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to talk about specifically. or I'm gonna start shutting it down. I don't know.
You guys excited for Pokemon?
Or what?
Never
Pokemon.
played one.
Never played Pokemon. Oh, you're
I know. I've got a tabletop group that I play with, and they all think that it's absolute blasphemy that I'm one of the like biggest closet nerds they've ever met, and they're like, "How the fuck have you never played a Pokemon game?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. It just never happened." I played Magic the
Pokemon?
Gathering a little bit in middle school. Yeah.
They playing Pokemon as a tabletop?
Oh no! I'm saying they're just
Okay.
they're like my nerd outlet here,
Okay.
and yeah, they just all find it very bizarre that I've never played a Pokemon game.
I don't know. I lost contact with Pokemon after the Golden Edition.
Yeah, same kind of here. I got White 2 for my 3DS, and I think I bought the Soul Silver edition, but I've kind of lost track after that.
If someone that's played all the generations, Black and White was the worst, by far the worst. It was disgusting, and it should be blasphemous to even say that.
Why? Because of the unoriginality of the new monsters, or?
No, it's just this. When I played that, it didn't feel like a Pokemon game. It felt more like Digimon, if anything. Like it just felt so foreign to me. The colors were very bland. And I didn't like the story that much, although I could appreciate it. But X and Y felt like the rejuvenation, Like, it was very colorful, it had a bright story, it was silly. And I feel like the remake of Sapphire and Ruby is going to be fucking fantastic, because I played that the most. Like, I literally played it until the cartridge ran out.
Sapphire was, like, after Gold and Silver?
Yeah.
Okay, so they were just a variation of those two.
No. It was Ruby and Sapphire. They're the third generation.
Okay.
What you're thinking about is Soul Silver. And
okay.
Those are the remakes. So now they're remaking the.
No, but there was something
generation.
like Crystal, some like third edition of those.
Crystal's part of Gold and Silver. Yeah.
Okay. No, because the last game Pokemon was not Gold, but the remake of Gold.
Those
like
were good too, yeah. At least I
but
thought
that was like the last time I played Pokemon. So
I would consider getting this one if you haven't played the Ruby and Sapphire one, because now they're letting you go to space and shit, and that sounds like fun.
What, you're going to space in the new Pokemon?
Well, the third one, like each generation has kind of a topic, and the third one, Ruby and Sapphire, was nature, and when nature was impacted by an extraterrestrial life, which is a Pokemon known as Deoxys, then it caused kind of another dimensional type of thing. And they're letting you go into space and fight Deoxys on the moon and whatnot. But he's really just a viral type of Pokemon. Like, they didn't get into, like, in the next generation, they didn't, like, oh, well, now you can go into planetary frontiers or anything. It was just, he was on a meteorite. But in this case, you fly up on a spaceship and then you actually fight a gym up there, apparently.
Oh, my.
So they're really pulling all the punches. But what everyone loved about that generation was something called Battle Frontier. And it's because it really expanded on the post game, and they let you do like thousands of different challenges, and you had so many options that it was amazing.
Okay, anything else before we close down?
I know we were gonna skip the League of Legends thing, so all I want to do is just throw in fuck the meta.
Maybe someone can give me a recap of what happened in Gamergate last week, because I was like totally absent.
Yeah, we can do that off air. This isn't really a Gamergate stream, but we can do it off air. Just want to ask you, each and every one of you, are there any games you're looking forward to?
Oh.
I can start with each and every one. Simon, how about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna toot my own horn a bit. there's a studio in Denmark that's releasing a free-to-play called Heroes and Generals. I'm just gonna say it. It's fucking awesome.
What's the name?
Heroes and Generals. It's a World War II mass multiplayer combat thingy where you evolve your soldier. And long story short, it brings back some of the feel from Battlefield 1942.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I had a discussion with retard earlier because he wanted the well. I'm the only one that matters kind of shooters, the Call of Duty, etc. Where I'm part of a tank crew and we shoot shit. And if we do badly, well, someone else is gonna pick up our slack. I mean, the more realism of a war, and that really feels it. You got fighter pilots, you got tanks of different sorts, from just 2 machine gun tanks to massive tank killers, etc. It's a really good game. It's free to play. I think the economy part is fair. You don't have to do anything. You can do it. So,
Guys, apparently a Star Wars teaser just came out.
What?
I'm trying to make sure this is legit. Hold on a second. Keep going. I'll dig.
Right.
But yeah, it's a Danish studio. I had to toot it a bit, also because I find it good. But yeah. Come on, we're only 5.5 million in this country.
I'm installing it right now.
Herman, how about you?
I really don't know. I just I don't have that much time to play at the moment, and I just started to play my unplayed Steam games. So at the moment I'm playing actually Just Cause 2, and I don't even really know what's coming out in the next months.
Yeah, but
I think
2015 or something. Is there anything like Batman or anything?
I think the one thing I'm really excited about is Elite. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm really looking forward to a time where we'll actually be able to play Elite.
Okay. Alright, Dustin, how about you? Anything that you are looking especially towards playing?
Blade and Soul.
What's that?
Blade and Soul. So hyped for that game. I've been waiting for that game for like 8 years now.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Oh God. Oh man. You know, I might have to add you on something other than Twitter so I can just bombard you with why this is like the number one game I've been waiting for like 10 years. It's a Korean style MMO, right? And everything about it's like a painting. And you do all of these sick fucking like ninja like combos, and it's the core basics of it is like it uses for combat sequences it uses I don't want to say karate or ninjutsu, but like ninja type art forms. Like you can play as an assassin who can go like stealth mode, drop a bomb, and then lasso you to a tree and shit and throw knives at you. You got a guy that'll fucking suplex you. You have a karate master that fights like a fucking DBZ character. I mean, it's fucking awesome. Huh?
Yeah, that sounds nice.
I'll link it to you on Twitter. I mean, there's some videos that I send to people to kind of give them an idea. Like the Swords Master can summon like 6 swords, and then they attack with you with elemental abilities with each sword. It's fucking awesome.
Oh, nice.
All right, well, okay, that's the number one game for me.
How about you, Cortana?
I think I mentioned it the other day. I'm hoping The Division ends up being everything that Destiny was supposed to be.
Yeah.
I just really hope that works out well. We had a guy who was playing the beta of Elite in here yesterday. I don't know if he's still around. I don't remember who that was. But I'd like to see a privateer game like that kind of work out, whether it be that or Star Citizen. We'll see. Star Citizen has really big aspirations, so we'll see if Roberts can pull it off. I hope he does. But yeah, I'd say that's like my two big things. And then Halo 5, whenever that comes out, you guys won't see me for like a week and a half. I will just be Ghost.
I can relate to those sentiments.
Yeah, I'm the number one game I'm really looking for. I've been waiting for it for a long time. Is Dragon Age. So I'm gonna play the shit out of it when it comes here next week or this week or whatever you may call it. It's I think it's coming to on Tuesday here.
Definitely let us know your opinion, because again, I'm very leery of reviews. I liked the first one, and then I never played any of the ones after that, and I had heard that it kind of fell off. The thing that I liked about the first one was all the world building, but now they're saying that there's not a lot of story in the new one. So let me know what you think.
Yeah, I will. We mentioned it earlier, just before you came in. Like Final Fantasy 13 and Dragon Age 2 are like games people either hate or love. So I find both of them they're good, but they're not the best.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt that Dragon Age had a lot of good elements, but it didn't have the same magic as the first one had.
Mm.
So I hope they learn from the lessons and made a good game now. It at least has a good Metacritic, so I hope it doesn't disappoint. So unless there's any last words, I'm gonna shut this down.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got one in the chat asking for Far Cry 4. Any thoughts?
Far Cry 4.
Yeah, he doesn't have any specific questions, so I guess.
What do we think about it?
Yeah, do you have any specific thoughts about it, or are you just gonna avoid it because it's Ubisoft, or?
I did get the last Far Cry. It was the first Far Cry I actually played. I thought it was decent. It was definitely different in regards to how the shooting mechanics worked and everything. But Far Cry 4, I recall reading a tweet something along the lines of, if you're a Gamergate, you're gonna hate the next Far Cry or some shit like that. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna get anything related to Far Cry.
I mean, I liked Far Cry 3 and especially Blood Dragon, perhaps one of the best DLCs I've ever played. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna buy it on day one, but I'm probably eventually gonna get it. I don't know about you guys.
I don't know. I haven't played Far Cry since Far Cry.
Okay. Cortana, how about you?
Same thing. I've been so removed from Far Cry. I think I might have my timing off here, but I think I was playing the original and then I stopped because my buddy gave me a copy of Fear, and I was like, oh, this is way better.
I played them all, to be honest. Not so much Far Cry 1, because I wasn't really into that at the point. Far Cry 2 disappointed hugely. That's a pile of shit, to be honest. Far Cry 3 with Vaz and the story and some of the game aspects were awesome. And then it trailed off on the second part. But what I heard is that Far Cry 3 is pretty much the baseline for Far Cry 4. So if you like that, you should be able to like Far Cry 4. As for the tweet, I think they're just trying to rile up some publicity, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Piggybacking.
And last question before we sign off. We got a question about GTA 5 and the first person mode. Any thoughts on that?
Pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. Have you played the mod for GTA 4?
I mean, I've played the GTA 5 on PS3 and played the online, so
Okay.
I think I'm gonna get it eventually, but not right now. I have it, and I kind of got tired of it right now, but eventually, yeah.
Yeah, I thought GTA 5 was a pretty solid game. It'll be one of those things where it's kind of clever, right? Because they figured out a way to sell us the same thing again. I'm sure when
Yes.
my brother buys it and he wants to run around and do heists or whatever, because I didn't play a lot of the multiplayer. I just kind of got burnt out on it, and people were like doing exploits and boosting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe when that comes out and there's like a first-person carjacking multiplayer simulator or whatever, I'm sure that'll be fun. I'll just want to drive around while my brother's hanging out the window, like shooting at people with a shotgun or something.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
So.
Just make sure you don't kill any prostitutes.
Oh,
yeah.
I know. Oh, I kid you not. The first thing that my girlfriend and I did when we got the because again, I've been trying to introduce her to video games. When we picked up the midnight release thing, she's like, "Why is everyone so enraged by this game?" And I was like, "I will show you." And that's exactly what happened.
Anita Sarkeesian's brain will probably explode from
Explode,
the.
absolutely. She'll go on, they'll go on her Instagram and see that picture and be like, "Ah, traitor."
Goes full Macintosh.
Yeah. So. Oh, yeah. There was one other game that I was looking forward to, and I actually don't know which version is going to be the right one. Did you guys ever play Dungeon Keeper?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So finally, after I kind of went off on it in last night's stream, EA released that god awful thing that was like the free to play mobile app or whatever. All right, so then I guess there's one game called War for the Overworld, and I think that's actually a Kickstarter. And then there's Dungeons 2, which I think actually has that's like a normal, normally funded and backed traditional model, and I think that actually has some of the old development team from Bullfrog Studios, like some of the old school guys. So that's something to keep your eyes on.
Okay.
So,
Any last words before we shut this down?
I'm good.
Okay.
Only stop Disney for getting Star Wars. Besides that, no.
Oh yeah, no, I was watching and I'm like, this is not a J.J. Abrams trailer. This is nonsense. So it was just something that someone threw in my Facebook feed, and I was like, you've been duped.
Well, it's just I'm a huge Stormtrooper fan, so yeah.
Okay. I want to thank you everyone for joining me, for even bothering showing up here today, and everyone who's listening. And I hope see you next time then.
Yeah, good time.
Absolutely.
See you guys.